Friends, in the previous part, we saw Kate searching for Lily inside the terrifying abandoned mental hospital, where she finally discovered the horrifying truth about patient 47 and the dark entity haunting the city. In the end, the hospital became filled with black-eyed patients, and an ice-cold hand touched Kate's shoulder from behind. Now, the story continues. Kate's breathing stopped. Her entire body trembled with fear. Slowly, she turned around, but standing behind her was not a human being. A tall black figure stood silently in the darkness with its face completely hidden. Only two glowing white eyes stared directly at her. The creature was much taller than any normal person, and its fingers nearly touched the floor. For several terrifying seconds, the figure simply stared at Kate without moving. Then strange whispers slowly started coming from the dark hole where its mouth should have been. It sounded as if thousands of voices were whispering together at the same time. Kate stepped backward in terror, but suddenly the figure vanished into the darkness. At that exact moment, every hospital door began slamming shut violently, one after another. Bang, bang, bang. The entire hallway shook. Then all the black-eyed patients slowly began walking toward Kate together. Their twisted smiles looked unnatural, and several of them had burned skin and blood covering their hands. Kate turned and started running. She sprinted through the endless dark hallways while hundreds of footsteps chased behind her. Suddenly, the hospital lights started flickering on and off. Every time the lights flashed, the patients appeared much closer. Then darkness returned. Then they were even closer. Finally, Kate noticed a faint light glowing inside one room. She rushed inside and slammed the door shut behind her. The room was filled with old medical records, broken computers, rusty hospital equipment, and a horrible rotten smell. In the center of the room stood an old television. Suddenly, the TV turned on by itself. Static noise filled the screen before an old recording slowly appeared. The same burned little girl appeared again, but this time she was not alone. Behind her stood the same tall, dark figure. Tears rolled down the little girl's face as she whispered in fear, "It is born from fear. The more people fear it, the stronger it becomes. It hides inside people." Suddenly, the girl started screaming violently while the dark figure slowly moved into her body like black smoke. The television screen instantly turned black. Then one message appeared across the screen. "It wants Kate." Kate's heart pounded harder than ever. Suddenly, scratching sounds echoed from inside the walls, as if something was trying to crawl into the room. Thick black smoke slowly started leaking out of the walls and sliding underneath the door. Kate stepped backward in panic. Then she heard a soft voice behind her. "Kate!" She turned around and tears filled her eyes. Lily stood there. This time she looked normal. Her eyes were no longer black and she looked terrified. Lily slowly walked toward her and whispered, "We need to leave now." Kate desperately asked, "What is this thing?" Lily trembled and replied, "It is not a ghost. It is fear itself. It survives inside human fear, and now it wants you." Before Kate could respond, violent banging suddenly exploded against the door outside. Bang! 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 It sounded as if the door would break apart at any second. Lily looked terrified. "It found us." At that exact moment, the television suddenly turned on again by itself. This time, the screen showed only Kate's face, as if someone was secretly recording her live. Then slowly behind Kate on the screen, the tall dark figure appeared once again. But the most horrifying part was that the figure was not inside the television. It was standing directly behind Kate in real life. Lily's eyes widened with terror. In a trembling whisper, she said, "Kate, don't look behind you." But then Kate felt an ice-cold breath near her ear. A deep whisper echoed beside her head. "Now you belong to me." Suddenly, every light inside the room exploded at once. Darkness swallowed the room completely. Kate screamed loudly. At that same moment, she felt something grab her throat from behind. The icy fingers tightened around her neck, and she could barely breathe. She struggled desperately to escape, but the creature was far too strong. Suddenly, Lily screamed, "Kate, run!" In the next second, a burning red light flooded across the room. Kate looked up and saw Lily trying to hold the dark figure back, while black smoke slowly entered Lily's body again. Lily screamed in pain as darkness spread across her skin. Then, for one final moment, Lily looked directly at Kate and shouted, "Run, before it gets inside you too!" Terrified, Kate forced the door open and ran into the hallway. But the hospital now looked even worse than before. Black-eyed patients stood silently everywhere, staring directly at her. Then suddenly, every single patient.
Friends, in the previous part, we saw Kate searching for Lily inside the terrifying abandoned mental hospital, where she finally discovered the horrifying truth about patient 47 and the dark entity haunting the city. In the end, the hospital became filled with black-eyed patients, and an ice-cold hand touched Kate's shoulder from behind. Now the story continues. Kate